Wolfpack. I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was kind of schlocky and a little kind of dumb-ish up until the very last episode when all the shit came together and it was awesome. You've seen the whole thing, right?
Yeah, up through, I think they only had 8 and the season's done, so yeah.
Yeah, it was just 8. But episode 8, when she goes into full Buffy mode, and I was just so cheering for that. That's what I wanted to see the whole show, was just her going full Buffy and just kicking the shit out of people.
My thoughts were, I knew she was somehow implicated, and they kept talking about the 2 wolf kids, father, the whole time. So instantly I'm like, oh, what about the mom? They never mentioned the mom. It must be Buffy.
Yeah, I guess that by episode 2 or 3, I think, when she kept insisting on shaking everyone's hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she's getting their scent. Oh, she's the alpha female. Okay.
I like the girls. The girls are hot, but then, it's an MTV Teen Wolf production. Also, here's something. Having watched Teen Wolf, when they introduce... When Buffy started going all Buffy on that final episode, the guy, the firefighter she was fighting, they encountered him being kind of like a custodian in a hospital or a nursing home when they first originally questioned him.
Yeah.
He, specifically, that actor, was in Teen Wolf playing an alpha werewolf who was like
Really?
the big bad for an entire fucking season. So I see him in that role, and I know that it's the same creators, same producers, and I'm like, what? Did they just get him in to play a janitor? Fuck no, he's obviously got something going on. So I knew his role was a lot bigger than what we thought.
Yeah, I didn't have that quote-unquote advantage.
I like the 2 main protagonists. I like them both. They're both good characters. Hot Blonde is, really hot blonde, so that's good. She's like a Viking goddess woman, so that's good.
The gay dude just allowed me to rip on Andrew continuously because he was so uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, is this raising feelings within you?
He has nothing going on in his life other than let's go to the 24-hour rave and try to get laid. That's like all he does. They'll like back
he's
off.
like 19. That's
what
they're gonna
do. They're gonna like be like, let's have a little bit of character development for a little bit this episode. And his character development is just going to the rave and have it's a big gay rave. That's all they do with his character. That's the most like one-dimensional thing ever.
Yeah, he did suck the worst of any of them. Yes,
literally. But they it's like they ticked their box for gay representation and then just dropped him as far as any other consideration, which was kind of dumb.
Do we actually know any gay people? What do they do? I don't know. They go to raves, I guess.
They go to gay raves and go to gay gym pickup spots, apparently. That's like their whole deal. So a little bit of dimensionality here and there, but then they also did a real good job with other characters.
The other 2, the non-brother sisters, I liked them a lot. They had a lot of different angles that made them interesting people, I thought.
First episode, when you didn't know what was going on, I'm like, she's kind of pretty, but she's a little zitty. That's kind of weird that she's an actress with a bunch of zits. And of course, that was a thing. She becomes a werewolf and the zits disappear. So I'm like, oh, that happened. Anxiety nerd boy. He was really believable as anxiety nerd boy. And then he's like, I think I just gained like 15 pounds of muscle. That all worked really well. He was kind of like a Peter Parker type role. Now,
do you think he lost his anxiety because of the werewolf powers or just because he suddenly woke up the next morning and was totally ripped and felt good about himself?
I bet it was the werewolf psychic bond.
Because I would be totally full of self-confidence if I woke up like that. I'd be like, holy, look at me! If
you went through the Peter Parker...
Yeah, man.
Getting the powers and the abs, yeah.
I didn't even do a sit-up, and look at me!
The one thing that always bugged me about Teen Wolf is, and I didn't watch the entire thing, so I could be wrong here, but at least for like the first 2 seasons, nobody turned into a werewolf. They all turned into, like the 1950s, like slicked back hair and the eyes. That's all they did.
They had like wolf aspect, not like, full wolf transformation.
Yeah. And, they're doing a little bit of that in this show in that all of the wolves, all of the protagonist wolf pack, none of them have gone full wolf yet. But then again, they're all kind of just discovering their powers, sort of kind of.
Which is helpful because the special effects they used were just mind-numbingly bad.
Yeah, just right from the start with the big forest fire and the big and like a big horned sheep comes out, and I'm like, wait, they're in California. Are there big horned sheep in California?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay, right.
But they had a whole bunch of like horses jumping over the fence that were all on fire, and I was making Mario noises while they were doing it. Oh my God, the effects.
The effects, the CGI effects, as bad as they were, I did appreciate them going for it when it came to the full-size, big, badass werewolf, because I'd rather see that any day of the week than a bad guy with slick back hair and pointy ears and glowing eyes.
Yeah, they had to. Plus, it would fit with the story. They had to differentiate why he was full-on Krenos form, according to Wizards of the Coast.
Krenos form.
There's some deep lore for you.
I liked when they had the flashback to Sarah Michelle tearing up all the firemen, and she was kind of like in the half-wolf form. That worked out well.
Oh, yeah, that was cool as hell, yes. Anytime Sarah Michelle Gellar goes into an ass-kicking frenzy, I am in. I'm yelling, I'm throwing stuff at the walls. I love that.
Even with their big gotcha moment when she flashlights the shit out of the security guard, I was not shocked at all. By that point, I had figured out that she must know something. I didn't have the full picture. I didn't know Blonde's son was werewolf, even at the party when he couldn't remember his name. And I was like, that was a little weird, but I didn't really think about it because there was so much other shit going on. So Blonde Kid did come as a surprise to me.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming around.
I think it's a little weird. Well, I don't know if it's weird. I mean, this is based on a novel. The fact that none of them are like full-on wolf powers. They all have like one aspect of a wolfy power with the scent and the running and the blonde hotness or whatever her power was. I don't remember. It was just...
They're like Wolf Voltron.
Yeah, they have to join together into a pack. Yeah, I guess the end goal of the author is to make them increase their powers by packing up.
They got to pack it in.
I liked the show enough that when I got done with F8, I had to go onto Wikipedia and make damn sure there wasn't a further episode coming that the season was over. So,
well, that's a season closer ass kicking that Sarah just laid down.
That's true, but I've been influenced by Game of Thrones, where the ass kicking episode was always the one before the end. They could have had a wrap up episode.
And Sarah's like our age, and she looks way better than us, man. I wish we had a camera crew with soft filters following us around all the time.
The whole involvement of her in everything, getting up all everybody's ass the whole time. I'm like, you're an arson investigator. Why is everybody... What? I guess it was just through her force of personality.
I guess so. She's got a lot of pull with the commissioner or something. I don't know.
Do you think Dad is going to become a werewolf? Is he going to accept her fatal offer?
If I know werewolf books, he will not become a werewolf. But Sarah won't be able to suppress her attraction to him because he's clearly an alpha. So she's going to have a relationship with a human alpha. And he's going to be alpha of the pack, even though he doesn't transform.
Is Sarah Michelle a bad guy?
I think what they were going for with that is she's an apex predator. She doesn't really have that morality. It doesn't bother her to kill people because that's just how she eats and what she does.
And I mean, filling up the elevator shaft, that was her just being like, oh, that's just Junior. I've been trying to control him, but I'm going to cover up for my boys. It's not like she filled up the elevator shaft. She only contributed one body.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. She did put the one guy down. I think she's operating on a wolf morality scale instead of a human morality scale.
My metric nowadays is pretty easy. I don't even really classify it too strongly. It's if a show holds my attention where I don't feel compelled to play shit on my computer or like play Tetris or whatever when the show's going on, then it's a pretty good show. And this show, I don't want to say riveted, but I was, it captured my attention enough where I didn't want to miss like a cleavage shot or like Blondie's belly button or so I was watching it.
I didn't want to miss a badly done CGI flaming ram.
Yeah, I know. They popped out all the time. The dude was having visions of rams in his hospital bed.
Oh, they were on fire, and they were just... Oh, my God.
You'd think they'd be like, okay, we need this scene. And the CGI artists are like, okay, here's what we got. If you want better, we could do better, but it's going to take 6 more months. The director's like, no, we'll go with that. But then he's like, yeah, they didn't try to just do the scene perfunctorily and then move on past it. They brought that goat back like 8 different times. Like they were proud of their bighorn ram.
I think they paid $9 for that gift, and so they were just going to use it.
They were going to, hospital beds and toilets and just everywhere. There was just a goat everywhere. But yeah, recommendation, thumbs up.